So Samsung's latest stick vac can alert you to calls and text messages. This is a terrible idea, Samsung. You should have never done this. In fact, this reminds me of that meme, that Michael Jordan meme, when he says, and then I took it personally because I am taking this personally, okay? I'm going to get to that in a second, but there's so many reasons why this is a terrible idea. I mean, I don't even know where to begin why this is such a bad idea. Let's start off with the fact that nobody asked for this. Like, nobody's like, hey, you know what I wish I had? I wish my vacuum was smarter so that I wouldn't miss a single notification from my supervisor, boss, or whatever while I'm vacuuming. I mean, we had pictured a future growing up in the 80s. We had pictured a future, a utopian future, where robots would be doing our vacuuming. And instead of that, what we have now are these smart vacuums that are making us work twice as hard, because now I have to finish that quarterly report because I got an email notification about that from my boss while I'm vacuuming. So it's a terrible idea, Samsung. Terrible, and you should have never done it. Nobody asked for it, okay? Number two, why is this a terrible idea? Well, thank you for asking. Number two, because what happens when this tech becomes slightly obsolete? Is the whole vacuum then become obsolete? Like, what happens when do you have to update it? Do you have to keep on going, okay, well, I can't vacuum until I download the latest drivers and updates for my vacuum, and that's not saving me any time. In fact, that's very frustrating. So no, of course, I do not want this. And also, is it really that hard to vacuum with a phone? Or, just vacuum and have your smartwatch. This isn't a smartwatch. This is a watch from the 80s. It's not smart at all. It's actually a really stupid watch, but it's a nice watch. I like it. I got it from my dad. And he didn't have to do any of that, like, running away from the Nazis and sticking it up his ass or anything. It's just a regular watch. But let's go back to the vacuum for a second, because we were right in the middle of me explaining to you why I took it so personally, okay? So, now that we've established that this is a terrible product, should have never seen the light of day, Samsung. Never. Nobody wants this. Nobody asked for it. And in fact, if you go onto the website here, I'm going to go onto the website, and you basically they've hidden the fact that it's a smart vacuum to the very bottom, because they're not proud of it either. They're like, oh my God, this is stupid, but we have to say AI, or otherwise it's not going to sell anymore, because if it doesn't have the word AI in it, no one's going to buy it. So okay, but why did I take it personally? You're like, Jason, why did you take this personally? Okay, well, let's get to that. Let's get into it. Okay, so it all boils down to a classic indie film from 2004. It was the height of mumblecore around the world in the indie film scene. And a young filmmaker, let's not talk about his name right now, but a young filmmaker went out and on a shoestring budget made a film, an indie film, which went on to festivals and all that, And one of the major plot points in that film that the director made, the auteur created, is a scene where the protagonist is trying to call his girlfriend to tell her that he will be late coming home from the museum because he is probably going to get fired by his boss for doing drugs on the job. But the girlfriend is vacuuming. His girlfriend, Galen, is vacuuming, and she does not hear the phone. She assumes the worst. She assumes that he's a deadbeat, and then she eventually ends up leaving him because he's a deadbeat, because he never called her to tell her what was going on. Now, this was, 20 years ago, but that plot point would have, and many similar plot points in films and TVs around the world, would also be ruined by this device, which is now telling you that you have an incoming message. So, Samsung, you've made a very powerful enemy. And for those of you curious, and I'm going to link it in the comments, the name of that young auteur was Jason F. Gilbert, and he was the director of a film called The Coat Room, which you can watch on YouTube right now, and enjoy that little plot point where she gets the phone call and the vacuum doesn't alert her to the fact that her boyfriend is just a deadbeat. Anyway, that's been me, and please, if you have bought this device and it doesn't suck, you should probably take it back so that it sucks, because it's a vacuum. Okay, goodbye.